Who got you pregnant, this girl? Tell me this minute.
Mama, I am sorry.
Who is the man that did this to you? Tell me his name now.
My mother did not shout. She did not cry at first. She only stared at my stomach and asked one question that cut my life in half. Who got you pregnant? That question was louder than thunder in that small room. The spoon fell from my hand. It made a sharp sound on the floor. I did not bend to pick it up. My heart was beating so fast I thought it would tear my chest open. My mouth was dry. My tongue felt heavy like stone. My mother stood there, one hand on her waist, the other holding her bag from the market. Sweat ran down her face, not from heat, from shock. She asked again, I asked you something. Who got you pregnant? I looked at the floor. I could not look at her face. Mama, I whispered. That was when everything broke. She screamed, Jesus Christ of Nazareth! She dropped the bag. Tomatoes rolled on the floor. Pepper scattered like blood. After everything, she shouted. After all my suffering, she hit her chest. Is this how you will kill me? Neighbors gathered outside her door. I heard murmurs. Is it true? Ah, so it has happened. I knew it. Shame covered me like dirty water. I was not a bad girl. That is the painful part. I did not follow boys around. I did not go to parties. I went from school to home, home to church, church to home. My mother trusted me. That trust was now lying on the floor with the scattered tomatoes. She sat down heavily. Stand there, she said. Don't move. I stood like a criminal. Who is the boy? She asked quietly. I shook my head. She laughed again. That same bitter laugh. So you don't even have a name to give me? Tears dropped from her eyes. Do you know what people will say about me? I knew. In our area, a girl's mistake becomes her mother's curse. That night, my father did not talk. He came back late. Someone had already told him. He looked at me once, just once. Then he entered his room and locked the door. That look hurt more than beating. I remembered how everything started. Kunle was not a monster. He was just weak. He helped me during my IT. He listened when I complained about hunger and stress. When he held my hand, I felt safe. I will marry you, he said one evening. I believed him because I wanted to believe someone would save me from poverty. I did not know I was walking into deeper pain. When I told him about the pregnancy, his face changed. Are you sure? He asked. That question still haunts me. He did not shout. He did not deny fully. He just became cold. I need to think, he said. Thinking turned into disappearing. Back in my mother's house, the insult started. You have destroyed your future. You have killed your mother. See your mates getting married. I slept and woke up with tears. Morning sickness came. Hunger followed it. Sometimes there was no food. Sometimes my mother cooked and did not call me. I understood. Or at least I tried to. One evening, I heard her praying. God, take my life and leave my children. I covered my mouth to stop myself from crying out loud. I had become a burden. She took me to Kunle's house one day. His mother looked at me like death. My son is not responsible. My son is a good boy. I wanted to scream. Good boys don't disappear. But my mouth remained shut. Months passed. My belly grew. My shame grew with it. People stopped greeting me. Children laughed behind my back. My mother stopped introducing me as my daughter. She just said my name. One night, as rain beat hard on the roof, my mother sat beside me. She touched my stomach. This child, she said slowly, did not ask to come like this. Her voice broke. I am angry, but I am also tired. That was the first time she did not shout. I cried like a child. I don't know what tomorrow holds. I only know that one question changed everything. A question that exposed my fear. A question that broke my mother's heart. A question that turned love into disappointment. Who got you pregnant? And the silence that followed is still louder than any answer I could ever give. The day my water broke, nobody shouted. There was no drama, no panic, only silence. It was early morning. The sky was still grey. Rain had fallen all night, and the floor was cold. I woke up with pain that wrapped my waist tightly and refused to let go. "Mama," I called softly. She did not answer. I tried again, louder this time. She came out of her room slowly, rubbing her eyes. "What is it?" she asked. I looked down at the wet wrapper between my legs. Her face changed. That was how my child announced himself. Without noise, without joy, without celebration. The ride to the hospital was quiet. No prayers, no encouragement, just the sound of the old taxi coughing on the bad road. My mother sat beside me, holding her bag tightly. She did not hold my hand. Pain came in waves. I bit my lips so I wouldn't scream. Screaming would attract attention, and attention had already ruined my life enough. At the hospital, the nurse looked at my file and asked, "Where is the father?" My mother answered before I could, "He is not here." The nurse nodded. She did not ask again. That nod broke something inside me. Labor was long, very long. I cried, I begged, I promised God things I didn't even understand. At some point, I called Kunle's name without thinking. My mother heard it. She turned her face away. Hours later, a cry filled the room. Not my cry, the baby's. A small, tired cry, like someone who was not sure if he should be here. The nurse placed him on my chest. I looked at his face. He looked innocent. Too innocent to carry the shame people had already placed on him. Tears rolled down my face. "I'm sorry," I whispered to him. I didn't know what else to say. My mother stood at a distance. She did not come close immediately. When she finally did, she looked at the baby, then at me. "He looks like you," she said. That was all. No smile, no joy, but no anger either. We returned home quietly. No visitors, no gifts, no congratulations. Just us. Neighbors came to peep. Some pretended to care, some did not hide their curiosity. "So it's a boy? God is faithful. Where is the father now?" My mother answered no one. She closed the door. Taking care of the baby was hard. Sleep left my eyes. Hunger stayed. Pain lived in my body. Sometimes the baby cried endlessly, and I cried with him. My mother helped, but from a distance. She bathed him, she washed his clothes, but she rarely carried him. One night, my mother finally spoke. "You know, when you were born, I had nothing, but I was happy." I waited. This one came with disgrace, but he did not cause it. Her voice cracked. "I don't know how to love him yet." That night, I cried into my pillow until morning. Weeks passed. Kunle never came. No call, no message. I stopped checking my phone. Hope is dangerous when it stays too long. One afternoon, I returned from the hospital and found my mother sitting with the baby. She was humming softly. I stood at the door and watched. She did not know I was there. She touched his cheek gently. "My son," she whispered. Something lifted from my chest. Life did not suddenly become good. Money was still tight. People still talked. My future was still uncertain. But slowly, something changed. My mother started calling the baby by name. She carried him on her back. She defended him when people made careless comments. One evening, she said to me, "You will go back to school when he is older." I looked at her in shock. She sighed. "I am angry, but I am still your mother." That was the closest thing to forgiveness I ever received. Sometimes, at night, I look at my son sleeping. I remember that question. The question that shattered my world. Who got you pregnant? I still don't have an answer that will heal everything. But I have a child who holds my finger tightly when he sleeps. And a mother who, despite everything, did not send me away. This story did not end happily, but it did not end completely broken either. It ended with scars, with silence, with a child born into a world that judged him before he breathed, and a girl who learned that one mistake can change a life, but it does not always kill it. Forgiveness did not come like a celebration. It came like tired rain, slow, quiet, and unsure if it would last. After my mother said I would go back to school one day, nothing changed immediately. The house was still small, money was still not enough, people still talked, but the shouting stopped. That alone felt like mercy. My son grew fast, too fast. His cries became louder, his fingers became stronger. He smiled without knowing what kind of world he had entered. Sometimes I watched him and wondered how something so pure could come from so much pain. Every morning I woke before dawn. I washed clothes, I cooked when there was food, I carried my baby on my back and walked to the hospital for immunization. Women stared. Some pitied me, some judged me. One woman said, "You are young, go, God will help you." Another whispered, "She ruined her life." Both voices stayed in my head. Kunle never came, not once. I heard rumors. Someone said he relocated. Someone said he was engaged. Someone said he pretended I never existed. At first I waited, then I stopped. Hope can kill slowly if you allow it. One evening my mother sat outside peeling vegetables. I joined her. We did not talk for a long time. Then she said, "People have started asking when you will leave my house." My heart dropped. I told them, "You are not going anywhere," she continued. I looked at her. "You are still my child," she said, mistake or not. Tears filled my eyes, but I did not cry. I had cried enough for one lifetime. Life outside did not soften. Sometimes my mother would send me to buy something, and the seller would say loudly, "Mama baby, how is the child?" People laughed. I smiled weakly. At home, I broke down. My mother said, "Ignore them," but ignoring pain does not stop it from hurting. One night, the baby fell sick. High fever, no sleep. We rushed to the hospital. As the nurse attended to us, she asked gently, "Are you married?" I shook my head. She nodded like someone who had seen this story many times. That nod did not hurt anymore. I was getting used to it. That scared me. Months passed. I started selling small things from home, groundnuts, sachet water, anything. I wanted to help. My mother never complained, but I could see the tiredness in her eyes. One afternoon, she watched me counting small notes. She said, "You have grown." I laughed softly. Pain forces growth. My son took his first steps in our small room. He fell. He stood again. My mother clapped. That was the first time I saw her smile freely in a long time. She carried him and said, "This boy has stubborn strength." I thought of myself. Maybe strength runs in the family. Sometimes at night when everywhere is quiet, fear comes. What if I never marry? What if I never return to school? What if my child asks about his father? Those questions sit on my chest like stones. But morning always comes, and with it, work. One day my mother called me. She handed me a form. "Evening school," she said. "It is not much, but it is a start." I stared at it. I did not trust happiness anymore. "You will manage," she added. "I will help with the baby." That night I cried again, but this time not from shame, from relief. This story did not become beautiful. There was no rich man, no sudden breakthrough, no public apology, just survival. Just a mother who stayed, a child who lived, and a girl who refused to die inside. Sometimes I still hear that question in my head. Who got you pregnant? It no longer breaks me the way it used to. Now it reminds me of where I fell and how, slowly, painfully, I stood back up. Not whole, not proud, but still standing. Kunle came back when my child was 3 years old. 3 whole years, 3 birthdays without him, 3 years of questions with no answers, 3 years of carrying shame, fear, and strength on the same back. He came back when my son already knew how to run, how to laugh, how to call my mother Mama Grandma. But he did not know his father. I did not see Kunle first. I heard him. I was washing plates outside when a shadow fell across the ground. I thought it was my mother. Then I heard his voice. Blessing. That voice. It entered my body before my brain could stop it. I dropped the plate. It did not break. I almost wished it did. I turned slowly. Kunle stood there. Older. Thinner. Less confident. His clothes were neat, but his eyes looked tired, like someone who had been running from something for too long. For a moment, I could not breathe. My son was inside, pushing his toy car on the floor. Vroom, he shouted happily. That sound reminded me of everything Kunle missed. First steps, first words, first sickness, first night fever almost killed him. Kunle heard the child's voice. He flinched. Is he inside? He asked. I nodded. He is 3, I said. Kunle closed his eyes, just for a second. My mother came out. She did not shout. She did not insult him. She looked at him the way you look at someone who disappointed you beyond anger. So you are alive, she said. Kunle bent his head. I was ashamed, he said. I laughed, a dry laugh. Shame did not stop you from living, I said. It only stopped you from coming here. Silence followed. My son ran out. Mommy, he shouted, holding his toy. He stopped when he saw Kunle. He stared. Children can sense strangers. Who is that? He asked, pointing. My heart broke quietly. Kunle knelt down slowly. My name is Kunle, he said gently. The child frowned. My daddy is in the sky, he asked. That question hit all of us. Kunle froze. My mother turned her face away. I swallowed hard. No, I said softly. Your daddy is complicated. My son nodded like that answer was enough. He went back inside, just like that. Kunle watched him leave. Tears filled his eyes, but tears don't raise children. I came late, Kunle said. I know. You didn't come late, my mother replied. You came after damage. Kunle brought out a small nylon bag. Inside were biscuits, a toy, and some money. I stared at it. That bag looked too small for 3 years of absence. I want to take responsibility now, he said. I felt tired. I have been responsible since the day you ran, I replied. He sat down. He talked about hardship, about moving from place to place, about losing jobs, about fear. I listened, not because I believed him, because I had already survived worse. I am married, he said quietly. That was when the pain entered properly. Married. So life did not stop for him, it only stopped for me. I have another child, he added. My mother laughed bitterly. So you know how to stay, just not here. Kunle cried. Real tears. But again, tears don't change the past. He stayed that day. My son watched him from a distance. When Kunle tried to play with him, my son hid behind me. Don't touch me, he said. Kunle froze again. That rejection spoke louder than insults. That night, my son asked me, Mommy, why was that uncle crying? I did not know what to say. Sometimes adults cry when they remember things, I said. Oh, he replied and slept. Kunle started coming around. Not every day, but often. He brought food, he brought money. People started talking again. At least he came back. Some men don't. She should be grateful. Grateful for abandonment that returned late. One evening, Kunle asked me quietly, Can I take him out one day? I looked at my son. He was playing happily, unaware of adult pain. He doesn't know you, I said. You are a stranger. Kunle nodded. I will wait, he said. Waiting, the thing he should have done 3 years ago. That night, my mother spoke to me. Don't let pity confuse you, she said. A man can regret and still not deserve access. I nodded. Sometimes I watch Kunle watching his son from a distance, like someone looking at a life he should have lived. I don't feel love. I don't feel hate. I feel tired. My child is 3 years old. He already survived abandonment once. I will not let him survive it twice. Kunle came back, but coming back does not erase living. And this time, I am the one asking the questions. Kunle did not disappear again. That was what confused me the most. He stayed, but not fully. He stayed like someone standing at the door, unsure whether to enter or leave. He came sometimes, not regularly, not reliably. Some weeks he came twice, some weeks he did not come at all. When he came, he brought things, foodstuff, small money, sometimes clothes for my son. But he never stayed long. He would sit, watch, talk small, then leave, like he was afraid of getting too close. My son still did not call him daddy. He called him uncle. Each time he said it, Kunle flinched, but he never corrected him. Maybe he knew correction could not fix 3 lost years. Sometimes Kunle would stretch out his hand to touch my son's head. My son would step back, not rudely, not angrily, just carefully, like a child protecting himself from something he does not understand. That thing hurt more than insults. One afternoon, Kunle brought his wife. He did not call. He did not warn me. I was bathing my son when my mother said quietly, Blessing, come out. I knew something was wrong from her voice. Kunle stood there. Beside him was a woman. She was fair, neat, well put together. Her wrapper was clean. Her slippers were new. Her face looked like someone who had never had to beg before. This is my wife, Kunle said. My ears rang. My body felt weak. She greeted my mother. She greeted me. Her eyes moved around the compound, the small house, the cracked walls, the drying clothes. Then she looked at my son. So this is him, she said. Not our child, not your son, just him. My son held my wrapper tightly. Mommy, he whispered. I carried him. He buried his face in my chest. Children know when they are not wanted. They did not stay long, but when they left, my mother sat down slowly. She did not talk.
She just sighed. That sigh carried many meanings. A few days later, Kunle came alone. My wife is not comfortable, he said. I waited. She feels I am getting too involved, he continued. She says people are talking. I laughed softly. People talked when I was pregnant, I said. They talked when I gave birth. They talked when I carried this child alone. Did that stop you from sleeping peacefully? He did not answer. She says, he added, the child may get attached. I stared at him. Is that not the point? I asked. He rubbed his hands together. He suggested I reduce coming, he said. Reduce. That word cut deep. Reduce like visits were medicine. Reduce like love could be measured. Reduce like my son was a burden. You can stop coming, I said quietly. Kunle looked shocked. I don't want to stop, he said. But you will, I replied. You always do. Silence followed. My child is not something you manage depending on peace in your marriage, I continued. He is not a secret. He is not a mistake you visit when it is convenient. Kunle's eyes filled with tears. I am trying, he said. I shook my head. You are trying too late, I replied. And my son cannot afford another disappearance. That night, my son asked me a question. Mommy, he said, lying beside me, is that uncle my daddy? My heart cracked quietly. Yes, I said. He was silent for a long time. Then he asked, will he stay? That question carried fear. I could hear it. I could feel it. I don't know, I said honestly. He nodded slowly. Then he said something that broke me completely. It's okay, I have you. I turned away so he would not see me cry. Children should not comfort adults, but life had forced him to grow early. Kunle stopped coming. At first, he sent money. Then less money. Then only messages. My wife is pregnant, he said one day. I congratulated him. What else could I do? Life did not stop for him. It only changed address. My son started school. On the first day, fathers held hands. Fathers took pictures. Fathers laughed. My son held my wrapper. Mommy, wait for me, he said. I waited. When he came out, he ran into my arms, not into a father's chest, into mine. One evening, Kunle called. I am relocating again, he said. I was not surprised. I wish you well, I replied. You are not angry, he asked. I am tired, I said. That is deeper than anger. He was quiet. Take care of him, he said. I almost laughed. I have been taken, I replied, since before you remembered him. That was the last call. My son sometimes asks questions. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he draws pictures. Always 3 people. Me, him, Mama Grandma. No missing faces, no empty spaces. This story did not end with justice. It ended with survival. With a girl who became strong because she had no choice. With a child who learned early that love must be consistent. With a mother who stayed when the world wanted her daughter to disappear. Kunle came back. He left again. But this time, he did not take hope with him. He left only truth. That abandonment is not love delayed. It is a decision. And survival, quiet, painful survival, is sometimes the only answer to the question, who got you pregnant?